Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Rookie Roman Council. My name is Lex, aka Junkwan. I'm joined here today with world-renowned Tuco watcher Yucker and world-renowned Heartbroken Daisy. How are we doing today?
Lex, it's so good to be back. I'll say that. Everything else, kind of a bummer. But it's good to be back with Rookie Roman Cancel. It's like seeing an old friend after a long time.
Yeah, it's also my big return to Rookie Roman Cancel. I think just really unfortunate timing has made it so that I really couldn't hop on to commentate. I was always either at a local or visiting family, and then the weeks where I was available, it was just burst to 5.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so finally get to tune in on the beginner bracket action. And hopefully, it's a nice change of pace, right? Not watching NA completely stomp EU. So it's heartwarming.
Well, let's
it's
get into
be
it
back
here.
In Rookie Roman Cancel.
You're telling me I've got the huge smile.
Well, because
on my
we also
face.
had the breaks, like the Safia Saturdays, the Rookie Roman Cancel. We had all the substitutes, but there's no substitute.
Who up and does that? Just leaves.
My bad.
Just leaves.
To America.
We gotta have a Blaze Black bracket.
Sorry.
It's not on the Junk line stream. Madge.
My bad. Alright, I'm gonna send it off to you two. Have fun.
Thank you.
Yay.
Thank you. Alright, been a minute since some of these people seen some of these people, so I'm curious how they've been exiting their turd.
Yeah, Safia on the Eno here has been definitely entering some of the other stuff in NA. Bea returning to Rookie Roman Cancel after a little bit. Heard the call and answered it.
Beautiful.
But we gotta see how everybody gets stronger after a break, I think. If they don't realize it.
Yes, this is a very real phenomena, because you just taking a pause from the game lets you sort of like settle in a lot of muscle memory, but it also lets you take a bit of distance from the mire you're sort of entrenched yourself in, of like thought and how you approach the game, where you can take it from a new perspective where you're like, wait, why was I doing this the whole time?
Right, absolutely. Well, Safia so far having the good offense. Oh wow, nice safe jump on the second Vapor Thrust.
The thrust is so ass. Nice YRC getting a quick throw, put him down to the ground. And the overhead, good combo off the note. They're unfortunately missing the IAD, but nevertheless, right, has that pressure to keep on running. 5HS looking for the thrower, but we get a big old stuffing instead.
There we go. Safia with the JD opening up another combo here. Bea has burst and 75-meter to use, but just isn't fighting their way out of the corner right now, and Safia keeps the attack going, gets that first game.
Yeah, Bea currently being a bit of a professional victim, trying to look for these far slashes and some of these longer range Kai normals. However, the way that Aino is moving is always putting herself in positions where that doesn't hit too cleanly. So I think try to replace that with a big old 2H, and hopefully that ends up a little better.
Yeah, Kai 2H would be a pretty good button in this as far as like catching some of those hover dashes. 5P is always kind of a classic against Ino also. Safia getting a touch here. Bea bursting out of the IAD combo, still lost a lot of health.
Interesting. Hit there. Nice.
Woo!
Good
Nice
I-beam to throw. Great stuff there. Quick little meaty seal. Fortunately, the pressure ends pretty shortly, but finds that counter hit, and look at the loops. Yes, get the knockdown.
There we go.
Still good.
Yeah, pretty good. Nice stun dipper under here and wins the burst out. Has 100-meter. This could be a very big round to win for Bea. Just needs to get a good touch and follow it up. Chasing with the fireball, the 2H catches the note, and Bea's on the board.
Good stuff there. I like it. Running straight at Safia just before she can alter the note's path to make sure that she can slip. They can slip underneath it.
Yeah, and we are seeing that 2H, like you mentioned, is when Ino goes into the air, her directional options are a little bit limited, and Bea is able to catch it out every so often.
Absolutely. Oh wow, the 6P on the far slash still though comes out in the favor of Safia. Now stroke plus frames, but the far slash challenging on the 6HS. Not able to continue the combo just yet, but the YRC looks at 2H, but lets the note do the work, hits the IAD. There's the burst to bring it back to the mid screen, but just dives straight on in.
Yeah, Safia's dives have been really finding their mark lately. They're just kind of not ready to block those. You know, it's a good punish if you block it, but the positioning, you may not be thinking about it. But Bea on the chase now, gets the stun dipper knockdown, has 50-meter, a little bit of 6H pressure. Safia with the dive, fireball YRC.
But seeing once again,
Bea's got to make the chase here. Whoa!
Oh, yeah, very unfortunate way that would interact. Good at low profiling. Unfortunately, against somebody that goes into the air, it's not the right answer. So Safia now on that set point, though. Bea just needs a couple interactions going their way, and it shouldn't be too far off of putting one fully on the board.
Yeah, because that's the big part about, like, Ino doesn't really have any great reversals. So it's like if Kai can keep that pressure up, it's a big deal. Like, Kai's got good buttons, good damage. But Bea getting thrown here. Bea just got to get the good touch. And Safia opening up with the JD. Not too much of a combo, but winning the burst out. Only has a little bit of health to give up at this point. The Vapor Thrust and Safia burst on block. Oh, Bea got opened up by the overhead. An IED combo gets the re-jump.
Quick drop, nice air throw, and that is going to be the set. Yes. Fortunately there for Bea, we didn't see any of a chance for them to really set up the grinder in the corner, because that's sort of the highlight of Kai, and kind of the reason that a lot of people are, well, they get bored of the character because, you know, they're, oh, it's just grinder loops, but not accessing his like strongest and probably single mind game plan is a little unfortunate there. But seeing the 2H come out is definitely a quick improvement and a sign of possibly just listening on the stream. The other piece of advice I would caution, and that's just in general playing against, I know when you're holding the Oki, her Oki is just to default stand block, kind of like you're playing Tekken.
Right.
And the reason for that is because you most likely get hit by her lows, yes, but they're of course scaled damage because lows scale harder as a starter than overheads do. So to just cut her out of damage, because you're kind of just admitting like, okay, listen, she'll probably get a hit on me. Let's just minimize the damage.
Yeah. The overhead's doing higher damage. It is one of those things. If you get the stand block going, it's better to take the low. It's kind of like taking the throw, right?
Absolutely. Here we go. Yerval versus Flow State 8. If I'm saying that right.
Good name.
Yeah, new name. And a good name too. Hopefully we'll get to see we're still looking for the same things on Kai. It's Kai after all. Like, it's not gonna change too much. Sadly.
Yeah. The question is like the neutral, the grinder Oki. Here we go. The grinder's out. No projectile after it, but oh, nice fireball to beat the dead angle. Yerval just taking that attack a little bit too far away.
Oh, just flow state.
The overhead.
Jet. Ooh, going over. Take it to the
flow
air.
state.
Big command grab.
Ooh, nice touch.
Ah, yes, big switch.
Flow
Could
state.
have altered the combo a little bit, but just defaulting for the non-counter hit variant. Nevertheless, stuck to the corner. Wire RC, keep it running, but able to squeeze the dead angle through that.
Oh no! The very last minute burst by Flow State, trying to burst away, but May just a little bit too small, and the Dolphins saved Yerbil there. Gets that first round. Yeah, we're seeing a little bit of that, the beginner bracket vibe to me is like very much like getting the touch and leaving meter on the table. Like there's a lot of good stray hits, but we're not really seeing those conversions yet. Nice projectile Loki, forcing Yerbil to FD here, and a good combo.
Ooh, big counter hit close slash. Again, the grinder comes out, forced to block the run up. But this is exactly what you were talking about earlier. There is a bit of meter on the side from flow state, and on these grinders to be able to wire see that heavy projectile and actually utilize the time that they're forced to block the grinder to instead set up a mix-up rather than running up and just deploying your mids is probably one of the best uses of meter on Kai.
Yeah, absolutely. I like Yerbil making the choice also to hold his burst for this third round, because Flow State doesn't have a burst yet at all, because that was all Flow State's round and just had no way to get burst meter back. So Yerbil in a very strong position for this final one, and getting these straight strikes in, close to 100 meter. The Dolphin RC, Flow State with some great blocking right now. The overhead kiss misses! And Flow State's turn now.
Yeah, nice air to air, unfortunately, able to get the conversion. Tries to keep Yerbil in the corner. Still succeeding on that 6K, a little bit out of the range. The Dolphin to escape. Again, air to air, but no conversion. We are landing these stray hits. Dead angle wants to claim a bit of his turn back, but we see the DP come out. Once again, air to air. 2 hits this time.
Ooh.
Looking for that throw. To get the counter hit on the Dolphin here, but no conversion, and that's going to be another Dolphin counter hit. Both players relatively even, but that's a bit of a disaster for DP to whiff. Thankfully, not too heavy of a punish. A lot of meter on the side for Flow State. Please find a way to use some of it. Having to hold this Dolphin Oki is not where you want to be at the current moment.
Yeah, nobody wants to lose a round with 100 meters. Oh no, but the low! And the burst misses again! Oh no! Well, Flow State, Flow State just kind of looks like maybe not ready for how these mate combos go, because we did see that Dolphin whiff twice where the burst was just... Yerbil was going for something different, and Flow State was hoping for a button to be extended and just didn't find it. So that's first game to Yerbil. But if Flow State gets the chance to get some of her offense going in this second game, and she's going to be able to take some rounds here. That's kind of the thing about May, right? Is like, May loves to jump around. But if you're able to keep her locked down with the projectile Loki and stuff, and especially punishing some of these Dolphins, Flow State can turn this around very quickly.
Oh, absolutely. To find these air-to-airs, good run under, slightly out of range for the stun dipper. Nevertheless, gets in close slash counter hit. Here comes the grinder, but just going to opt to burst on block. Doesn't want to hold the mix up.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to either.
Fair enough. Although I think without the meter being spent, there's not really much of a mix-up going. Like, they have to be pretty immediate with the option. And in Flow State's case, right, she just went for the instant air dash.
Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, Flow State wasn't really pushing strong Oki at that moment, but I think if you're Yerbil, you're hoping to just get back to neutral and have some fun with it and go back to those big May anchor buttons. But Flow State kept it tight and gets that round on the board again.
That's the patience so far, blocking out the Dolphin, looking for these JS's, trying to hope and snipe Yerbil out. There comes a low, few straight hits here, the knockdown off the stun dipper, 6HS plus frames, able to use the active frames of the 2D, catching out the Dolphin startups, stuck into the corner,
the king sweep. Here we go with projectile Loki. Yerbil gets crossed up, but still gets counter hit. Stun dipper getting FD'd here is kind of interesting. It looks like Yerbil may not be thinking about a punish for that. Usually you get a little more reward if you sort of normal block it and you get a big punish on it. Whoa, reversal! Wow. Stun edge.
Might have been a little bit of an error there, looking for maybe the heavy vapor thrust, who's to say. Nevertheless, squeeze over that. Nice YRC on the stun edge. Now we're talking business.
Yeah, won the burst for that as well. Yerbil's got to make this round count if he doesn't want to go to 1-1. There's that 6H pressure. Yerbil going for FD again, gets back in.
I like
Flow State getting her burst out. Yeah, good chance for her to win this round, right? So just has to think about this mix. Blocks it. Nice block on the low.
Nice.
And the dolphin touch
Cancel it.
didn't have the full convert. Oh!
It's about the
You
dolphin.
never want to give May a chance like this.
Nice,
Oh,
the run
nice
under the 2
run under.
HS. Good stuff there from Flow State. The YRC time stoning, slowing down the movement of Eurvolt to be able to reposition. Really good stuff there. I think like we're seeing some really interesting interrupts here from Flow State when she's able to just barely snipe Eurvolt on these Dolphin startups. But like the combos, especially off like close slash hit, you can very much just keep it simple and just take to the air and go jump slash vapor thrust.
Right, yeah. Yeah, you can get some like good damage with only a few buttons when you're playing Kai. He's got a good sword to use.
Absolutely.
And that was a nice overhead kiss by Eurvolt. I think that was the first overhead kiss that connected this set. But we're back to neutral here. The 6H pressure. Eurvolt dead angling out. The vapor thrust got low crushed.
Able to get away with murder, however, not the greatest punish from Eurvolt's side, but still a good solid life lead here. Gets the anchor drop there, just pushing. So very simple short combos, bringing it back down to the mid screen, but we see the Abare now. Greed Sever attempt, but the Dolphin to interrupt. Vapor thrust. RC probably not expecting it to hit, but doing the most of what she can with the hit situation. Now just patiently blocking out. Blocks the 3K.
Great block.
Up the grinder. Chases down after it. Jumps away. Uses for the 6HS. We need to see that YRC on that heavy grinder if we want to actually utilize it for pressure properly.
Yeah, this is Eurvolt on set point now. We're definitely seeing Flow State showing she's got some buttons, but unfortunately a lot of these converts, especially like May being super airborne, it looks like she's not ready for the height. And things are going better when Eurvolt is closer to the ground here. But the problem with the ground game is you got Dolphins at that point.
That's true.
Oh, the overhead kiss misses. Eurvolt gives the burst up. Kind of a low. That'd be an uphill battle. That may affect the third game here. The 6H at close range. I wonder if that was a throw. There's a throw. And we got a little bit more. Eurvolt keeping that FD going.
Oh, 2H barely whiffing, but still, it's a very variable situation. Eurvolt a little bit more apprehensive with his button presses here, not looking to accidentally overextend with just so little life left. The one good hit is all that Flow State needs. Now both players on set point against one another. Flow State has her burst on the table. Eurvolt not too far away from his own, but already starting off very heavy on the pressure here. Able to get a quick hit, but the Dolphin dropping the combo and swapping sides. Now it is all Flow State's opportunity. Now the most throw.
What a great throw. You know, I think that's smart for Flow State because Eurvolt's really going for this FD pressure a lot. We got it right here, and she knows the game plan. If you're gonna block, I'll just keep throwing you. It's not a big throw for Kai, but the damage adds up here and wins the burst out from Eurvolt again. Eurvolt getting some attack going with the Dolphins. Flow State very patient right here. Got the stun dipper on a fuzzy block. The super connects. That's not really gonna give a lot back. That was Hellfire damage. But only got 25 meter. Got it for the YRC though. Couldn't get a full convert here.
Bar slash getting the perfect range for the stun dipper to fully connect here. We're down to the last hit, and there's the stun edge. Flow State making it all the way back, finishing it off 2-1 in the end, and moving on forward.
Yeah, what a comeback by Flow State there. Just kept it simple, and the fireball at the end there, just denying that the Dolphin pressure that, you know, you can't really shoot a Dolphin against somebody who's got stun edge, even without YRC.
True. Busting out the Royal Blicky.
Well, here we go, Velvet Wolf. Yeah.
The closing remarks there for Flow State, they definitely look at how you can utilize that meter, because that YRC on heavy stun edge into the grinder, ooh, you will see a whole world open up for yourself if you can access that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Kai's you know, Kai's one of those guys I think everyone is kind of like, they say he's kind of white bread, but it's, you know, if you put butter on that bread, you get a good meal.
The butter being the yellow of the YRC.
Yeah, the yellow butter Roman cancel. Just spread that over the white bread buttons of Kai, and you get some incredible neutral.
Absolutely. But yes, now we have Eurvolt versus Flow State. The wolf jump scare for all those unfamiliar with this stream.
Here we go, Velvet Wolf and Grompy. Grompy, of course, our 5th place Ferdinand, a longtime Soul player. has one win, if I'm not mistaken, but needs that second one. Velvet Wolf, very fantastic bike in play. And both these players looking to make it into top 8 right now, I think.
Wizen. Oh, our very first danger time of the back, and immediately we're just letting the super rip, straight beating out the 6P attempt there from Grumpy, stuck into the corner. There's the tatami mat. You just gotta respect it. It is going to be such a chore for Soul to try and deal with these tatami mats. Maybe with the right amount of timing can look to just go for the Volcanic Viper to escape, but for the most part, it's just very easy for Biker to get these meaties on the Soul character.
Yeah, it's kind of one of the interesting things about the matchup is Velvet Wolf hasn't only been trying for the Azami so far, but a lot of Soul's buttons are very, like, if you know how to answer them, you can answer them very easily, but you just gotta be looking out for them.
Certainly.
And that blitz was certainly not supposed to be a blitz.
Yeah, definitely. Catching a bike and using the blitz mechanic instead of Azami is definitely a very big mistake. Ooh, going for the air Azami against the right stamp there. Typically, you'd expect the red Azami on the ground, which, you know, just to disincentivize Soul from ever using that. But nevertheless, able to get the super out here. Looking for that last hit to finish off Grumpy. The run-up.
Wow!
Might as well just send it, and that is going to be Grumpy tying up the rounds.
Well, especially with the 50-meter, DPRC was the perfect answer there. But yeah, Grumpy's staying alive here. Final round of game 1 now.
Get in there, make it about yourself. Completely derail the conversation. That is how you use DPRC.
Grumpy showing no fear right now. And we're back to a little bit of neutral. Velvet Wolf going for some Tatami. Oh, wow, what a wild throw. And it looked like they called out Nizami, too. Didn't have a full knockdown, though.
Yeah, I'm surprised to not see the revolver. Might be a little error there, but nevertheless, right, has a solid amount of life lead here and already controlling Velvet Wolf, spacing a little bit. You can see the patience, right? Like, they understand I have the life lead. This Biken character is just going to keep doing air backdash, tossing out this tatami mats, which is just a stop sign for most of my approach, but a well-placed air dash is definitely going to solve the approach issue.
Yeah, and especially, like, Grumpy is known for that kind of patience, Soul style. I think that's one of the things that really, like, caught our eye in, like, the early rookie Roman cancels, is Grumpy can just wait it out. Ooh. And, especially, nice 2D on the Suzerain.
Oh, yeah,
that regular third punch was crazy.
The RC with the kill. Burst is available. Uses it. Still the burst on the Velvet. Sorry, but the timing to deny, but the Arizami there might have been a little error. Looking for the JHS. One final button. No! And the empty jumps just straight tomahawking.
Wow, what a thoughtful approach by Grumpy. It looks like the JH kind of just landed before it could touch the Azami, which was fortunate, but wow, I would have pushed a button into it for sure. That's first game to Grumpy at the very last life pixel.
You talk about patience on Grumpy's side. That's the ultimate test right there. Final health situation to resist the urge to press the button.
Right. Wow, what a combo!
Very nice one frame link there. Good stuff. Gonna be bursting out here. Doesn't want to hold that dust loop in the corner. The slowdown. Able to beat out the Suzerain with the 2D. Trading into one another. The way this keeps up, it should be Grumpy's game pretty clean, right? Damage race. When you have the life lead, it's never going to end well for the person with lower health.
Yeah, and especially going into a damage race against Soul Bad Guy, you know. Biken's got some pretty good damage, but it kind of requires the corner position especially, and in mid-screen, Grumpy's going to have a lot more opportunity to convert. The right step!
There's a little interaction, the patience. Fortunately, possibly looking to try and IB it, but mistiming it. And let's getting the jump out. Air snatch in the corner. There's the tatami able to get the combo, but the reset throw there from Grumpy is gonna net themselves a set point here against Velvet Wolf.
Yeah, Velvet Wolf unfortunately not ready to convert. You know, I gotta wonder, it feels like that could have been the round for Velvet Wolf, but just gets stuck. What is happening with Riot Stamp? The red Azami getting wild thrown here.
Yes, and okay, we're getting a lot of back shots in this game so far. Nice, good IB, just looking to use that extra jump you get from the IB. There's the burst to return it back to a neutral state. Almost gets the link there, but once again, Gunflame coming out. The Azami not being held is a bit of a surprise, especially seeing the Gunflame come out. Ooh, okay, that worked out a little lucky there for Velvet Wolf.
Yeah, Velvet Wolf getting the dust loop here, has the knockdown. This is a good position to be in. You wanna make sure you can at least get this round on the board. That's the first step to coming it all back.
Yeah.
Oh no, with the 5H! We see Grumpy going back to these 2Ds, like looking for Suzerain neutral, trying to deny the Gunflame armor, and just kept it tight. Grumpy winning it 2-0.
Grumpy's so tough. So many times we see Crouch Azami from Velvet Wolf always getting blown out by overheads. The whole time that Velvet Wolf goes for standing Azami, we see the empty jump low. My goodness, Grumpy had the lock towards the end there. Good stuff there.
Grumpy's brain is working on overtime right now.
I think they're looking
at all the right guesses.
Yeah, I mean, they're looking at the bracket, and this is probably the chance, because you mentioned it earlier in the intro, like this is their chance to finally graduate. For so long have they sat on that golden fish, right? The ZF invasion kind of curbing the plans a little bit, and then the rookie Roman cancel popping off a little, right? Bunch of fellas pulling from all corners. But this is as good as any shot to finally get the much-deserved graduation. But before we get to that situation, we're going to be seeing your Pork Chop versus Roland returns.
Yeah, the biter is here. And you, Pork Chop, talking about we had those events in the break season. You, Pork Chop, did win one of the rookie Roland cancels. And certainly the holy fuck machine is right. She's a very different style from Grumpy in terms of soul gameplay. She's a wild girl. And going up against Roland to make it into top 8 now, looking for a first rookie Roman cancel win. And both players are, but it's there could be a lot of souls in top 8.
For Soul, it's very nice to just have Ground Viper as a tool, because a lot of Slayer's main shenanigans is about using those dandy steps, right? Just running around on the ground.
Yeah.
Whereas, just Gunflame slowly traversing forward, all that he can do is eventually just ride his face right into it.
Yeah, Gunflame and 2D both kind of really good weapons against Slayer in their own ways. But Roland using these 6Ps to great effect. The 2H connects. Couldn't get the kill though, there's no meter. And you Pork Chop just with the wake up DP. A different style of Final Pixel DP.
Might as well. Oh, what? I like that.
Wow.
Roland looking for that round start dash up throw, but instead we just let the ride stamp rock immediately, but able to see the JP, not going to be enough hit stun to safely convert it into the ground. That's going to be the ground throw there for Roland. Quick air reset, able to get a lot of stray hits here.
No.
Big DP whip, but no punish on that. Oh, almost had that burst bait going. JD stops over the sides there, pushing Pork Chop into the corner, and another DP.
Wow! Forward dash through the DP and gets the punish on it. Roland with a very fast round 2, and Pork Chop gave up her burst for that.
Oh, backdashing into the Gunflame. Very unfortunate timing there. Looking for the anti-air of the crosswise heal, but the ride stamp is going to promptly blow that up. Still, Roland able to find the next hit. That knockdown, what kind of Oki situation, looking for 6P, but that opens up an opportunity for Pork Chop to dash back to the mid screen. Able to get yet another Gunflame, and we're converting all the way to the corner. The conversions for both these players have been on point.
Yeah, you see these players that have been here for a while, the conversions, it's one of those things that I think as you play more of the game, you just start to understand more of these situations that you can make the most of. And right now, Pork Chop getting the 6H, couldn't make the most of it, but still in the corner, and the counter hit Fafnir, giving that first game to you, Pork Chop.
He just did that to make you sound stupid.
Yeah, well, that's commentator's curse, right? That definitely a slugfest, though. You got Soul vs Slayer. It's probably one of the most anime matchups in Guilty Gear.
Super brawlic indeed, but we're just gonna bust out there with the DP. Oh, nice BDC bite. Just like this conversion to come out of us as well. Look at the unblockable, but you have not earned that, buddy. We've seen your Pork Chop constantly DPing. Now of all times, you're gonna go for the very slow move on there, her Oki. Nah.
Yeah, I would say you, Pork Chop, one of the least people you could expect to get the unblockable on. She would show no respect to you. And the Grand Viper pushing back to mid-screen here. The BDC bite works again. Going with another round on the board.
Oh, yeah, the Gunflame once again denying the Dandy Step follow-ups, or just Dandy Step in general, as well as like BDC is great and all, and it really frustrates just about everybody trying to run Oki against Slayer. The benefit of having projectile Oki is not that you get to have Slayer standing, it's just that he doesn't really get to do much else off of BDC other than just jump block.
Right, yeah, the active frames is so important there to keep him from getting anything else started. But both players with burst now.
Oh, so look to bait it out, but you gave that opportunity over to Porkchop to once again bust out, has all this health to try and trade. Roland just eager to see that burst come out, but Porkchop just not biting at all. She is ready to just instead press. She knows that you are afraid and you are quaking in your boots.
Yeah, good awareness by Porkchop to not give up the burst here. Could make this an easy 2-0 for her, and having that burst behind her is going to let her keep the momentum. And right now, Roland gets the throw. Switching space here. We got the gold burst from Porkchop. That's one way to get momentum. But we'll see have to see how she uses it. Oh, got the green RC, though.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay, cool. Making it work. Gunflame a little too early, right in the face. There comes the gold burst. So thankfully for Roland's sake, not going to be punished out. Teleports on through, gets that close slash, puts him into the corner. There's the Helter Skelter. Good blocks there for Porkchop. And she gets the mash too after the 2D being deployed too close to her face. And all the tablets being blown up by the Gunflame. Porkchop making it a clean 2-0.
Yeah, very solid stuff by Porkchop. Going into top 8 now, we got 2 souls in top 8. Roland Return's gonna have to make their chances through the loser side bracket. But good show by Roland for sure. That's a very fun matchup, but it does seem difficult for Slayer with the Gunflame kind of locking down a lot of those Slayer options that they may want to rely on.
I think like for Slayer's sake, it's more of a matchup of callouts, where if you can place yourself in the right position, like Soul can kind of just ape out, deploy any tool he likes, and you have to be constantly like paying attention to what he's doing and doing the right thing. So for the most part, right, if somebody's very adamant on gun flaming, you can't really be dandy stepping all too much. But at the same time, dandy step is one of your best answers into the things like break or going for riot stamp, where you can just crosswise on such things. So it's mostly going to be a reactive matchup, it seems, for the Slayer player. And then once they get them locked down into the corner, they just need to, again, play a bit more of a call-out game, watching out for some of these reversal options. And if you do get these situations lined up very nicely, you can just completely blow up. Why do we have 3 Kais?
It's Phil. Phil's been around. Kai's everyone likes Kai. Everyone loves a king who's a little bit of a princess or whatever. Well, another classics of anime matchup, the Soul vs Kai matchup.
Ooh. Nice. Good little dust loop. Grumpy. Okay, that's gonna be the burst. Doesn't want to keep the pressure up. Laser beam. Yes. I think it's the first time we see the grinder or like the seal set into the laser beam coming out from a Kai player. Then comes the empty jump low to the 2D, but we're just gonna let the stun dipper rock straight away. But here's the DP busting out. Grumpy taking a page from Porkchop's book.
Yeah, Phil getting a good knockdown here, has the charge stun edge, knows not to go for the grinder. This is one of the things, like, when we're watching Kai gameplay in this, I think Phil's probably one of the more elite Kais within Rookie Roman Cancel. Sort of knows the amount of projectile Oki that he can gamble on. But Grumpy also knowing, like, just has to keep the chase going. Nobody can throw projectiles if you're 10 feet away from them. Soul's got that good dash. And, wow, nice RC by Phil, though. Can't quite get the kill. And gets in over the fireball. And nice closeout. Getting that first round from the jaws of death.
Yeah, Phil really gambling on that throw combo to be able to get the kill. And hindsight would have instead suggested to go for the heavy grinder and trying to RC for that instead. But nevertheless, we are the hero now, using those plus frames, trying to walk up. But the YRC seeing that 2H nice and slow, getting the punish. And look at the damage that Grumpy's pushing. However, drops. It doesn't.
Oh! Alright. Well, game 1 to Grumpy here. Gets the stun. A very solid beatdown.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing with like plus frame moves like Fafnir, is that like they're plus for the reason that they recover very fast. So if you just end up whiffing them, you still got to be very careful as the person playing into Soul, because they see a whiff, they go crazy about it. Like I need to immediately interact here.
Yeah, it's not really a button you can whiff punish, right? You're kind of like, there's the animation, I'll hit it. And then by the time you've hit it, they're just DPing you.
Yep. Nice.
Go with the surprise greed sever. Yeah, taking a whole chunk of life from Grumpy right at this moment. Nice 2D under the stun edge.
Oh, but you gotta watch out for the stun dipper. 5-frame startup. There comes the DP. A little bit of an error. Kind of an expensive DPRC there, but good anti-air. Okay, 6P anti-air. Rare moment. Calls out. Vapor thrust. We're gonna go into the grinder just outside of the range, but we still take that opportunity to run in that space, right? It's still a safe haven for Kai to operate in.
Yeah, Grumpy's playing a little bit at full screen and Phil with 75 meter here, getting these lasers out. And we gotta see if he gets to use any meter before this round over, because this nice blitz! That's a great call, you know, because we know the Vapor Thrusts have been safe jumped, so blitz is a great call out against, well, that was an air dash in that case, but even against a safe jump it would have worked. And
yeah, absolutely.
Phil with a round on the board.
6H, Gunflame, nice end space. Making it very difficult. You do just have to IAD when you see the soul go for the Gunflame at that distance. Look at the meter on the side of Grumpy though. We're already pushing quite a bit of damage here, and now we can be ever so threatening on this pressure game. Sees that Phil has liked to go for these stun dippers many a time before, ready to call out with another Gunflame this time.
Yeah, it's a good idea to call out those ranges where Kai players want to get the stun dipper going. And just denying it with a little bit of some floor fire. And the 5D by Phil has 100 meter here. Tries to go for another 5D reset. Didn't use any of the meter. Well, here we go. Ride the lightning and it connects. Gets through the projectile. It's 1-1.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get to see some of the really cool combos from the aspiring Kai players here, where they go into, I think it's called Split Seal, 236D, and then into the Sacred Edge. Right, splat them right against the wall. You can probably, I think, if I'm not mistaken, you can loop.
Oh yeah.
Those. That's your best way to extend some damage on Kai in the corner.
It's a fantastic guts crush as well.
Oh, for sure.
And here we go.
PRC. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's gonna lock Phil out of meter for a little bit, and lost the burst.
Oh, luckily, not suffering too heavy of a punish. Definitely, Grumpy was looking to just push Phil up slightly higher to set up for those dust loops. And be bursting back in response, but we just see the air dash flying straight in. Kai can be a little wild too with it.
Yeah, Phil going right back in on that, keeping the offense going. Very good call. You know, he's got a lot of tension pulse right now. 50 meter to work with, gets the throw. This might be able to kill. There's a little bit of risk, but he kept the combo short.
The timing. Really good stuff there from Grumpy to go for the backdash. Locks it. Probably was assuming that it would have been a side swap there, but nevertheless, we see Grumpy missing the JD for the dust loop, was able to bait out the Vapor Thrust, and that should be the kill here. Grumpy now on set point. It was such a good opening for Phil, but just came short on the very last grinder there, using the mix-up a little too slowly.
Yeah, Phil unfortunately not closing it out in a very unfortunate position now, because has to make this round work without burst for a little bit. So far so good, but Grumpy's that kind of fighter. You just know that they can surprise you.
Yeah, just meeting you.
All these airborne hits.
Oh,
yeah, all these air dares coming up Grumpy.
Oh, the drop it again. We've seen a situation before. Fafnir whiff doesn't invite you to go pressing just yet. I mean, Soul would like it if you pressed, but it's a little. Ooh, hold up. Oh.
PRC. Yeah.
It is what it is.
You know, I mean, Grumpy's a good call. DPRC in that case. It's never a bad call to go for DPRC. They're right up in your face. If they're going to be up in your face and you got 50 meter, just send it and see what happens. Because if you get that RC, you can get out of there. But Grumpy confirming the hit and just got the combo finished. And that's 2-1 to Grumpy. I think that puts Grumpy in winners finals.
Yeah, we're already on the right path to finally graduate. Wait, hold on. Let's see how's this progressing. I do hope this would be funny if Porkchop makes it through, that we get to see like the air quotes patient soul versus the soul who plays with a bomb strapped on her chest.
Yes, yeah, no, the two different schools of thought on Soul Bad Guy would go crazy for winners finals. And especially because I would say that we've seen Grumpy and Porkchop kind of taking notes from each other and sort of incorporating ideas from each other's habits. in the way that they play. So the way that they would both have to represent their own style and also answer their opponent's style would be interesting. But for that to happen, we gotta have Porkchop beat Dahi here on the chip. And it's gonna be a first to two.
Yeah, sadly for Porkchop in this case, Soul not too well equipped to really deal with a lot of what Chip does. It's still going to be very much a call-out machine type of angle you have to take into it. Or you get a really big 6HS if you could have just had that conversion, you would have definitely blown up Dahi right there and then.
Yeah, it's kind of tough. Like, Chip is very much, you got to know where he's going to be before he's going to be there. But
yeah,
the 5K here getting a good convert. Adding someone with the OTG and the throw. First round goes to Porkchop.
It's definitely gonna be one of those situations of like, yeah, know where Chip is and try to call that out, or just let Chip hang himself where you can then get the punish going. But trying to play the Chip game, you will never out Chip. How many more times can I say Chip?
Nobody can out Chip. Oh, nice 6P on the riot stamp, and Dahi with a big punish here. Getting that teleport corner combo. The leaf grab has the pickup. That's almost a round back for Dahi, but needs one more touch.
Oh.
And Porkchop with the throw here.
Okay, using the RC here to push the damage.
Yeah.
I don't hate it too much, but like, I think you just want to be like hanging on to YRC Gunflames, because all that Chip really has to his name is Beta Blade, which it's a serviceable DP, but it's nothing crazy. So to instead, like, I get the corner carry angle, but like it's not like Chip's gonna teleport or instantly disappear off the ground if you just take the regular throw into knockdown.
Oh wow, the counter hit combo here. More corner Oki. Nice blitz by Porkchop. Getting a little bit of burst back. She might get a second burst back before this whole round is over. Because these chip combos do a lot of hits. There's the burst from the Shuriken.
Yeah. Oh, riot stamp. Very nice. Just keep it nice and secure to get the knockdown. Porkchop with a chance to close it out, but using the time stone there. YRC Dahi getting the air throw there. Looking for the 2H challenge. Okay, we're just deploying the stick of butter there on the dragon install, but the more time you spend running around, you gotta be careful, right? You don't end up in the uninstall state where Dahi can't just get the free finish. The gold burst, you're about to eject. No, you could have used the explosion to cover yourself. I get the angle, but the PRC ruined it.
Oh man, yeah, that was unfortunate. Because we kind of saw it. Porkchop just getting chipped. It was like, as soon as that dragon install started, Dahi starts going for the teleports and the maneuvering and just like, I don't have to play the game right now. I've got the life lead. You know, dragon install going for that high risk like comeback mechanic, and it would have killed if it hit, but Dahi just made sure he didn't get hit.
Yeah, absolutely.
And a good start.
I think sadly for the likes of Porkchop into Chip, you really just have to play a very boring and consistent Soul. It's like the moment you try to be funny with it, like Chip is left and right, and you're looking for DPs, and he's crossing up your inputs and such. It's just too much to like. The meter is holy in this matchup. Like, to be able to blitz and just deal with left rights is so critical.
Oh, nice 6P by Dahi. Dahi's been doing some really great work. Like, we kind of saw a little bit of a flicker FD there, and then going for the 6P. Like, you can see he's looking out for multiple options here.
Nice.
And now with the Gunflame. Okay, well, there's the stun. Porkchop with the round on the board now. Won't have burst for this final round, and Dahi's still on set point.
Yeah, but you can see the moment that Porkchop just keeps the pressure very consistent, lets Gunflame do a lot of the heavy lifting. Dahi kind of just folds. So here's to hoping that she can find that situation again, gets anti-air, but no major pickup. Still though, gets a teleport air throw. There's a mix of nice FDC. Yeah,
great combo by Dahi. We got that full screen right now. Porkchop maybe getting psyched out. She's just waiting. A lot of these stray hits. JP beating the chip JD. This DP's gonna be big. Dahi with the big punish here.
Yeah, bring him back down to the ground.
Porkchop's got burst back.
Oh, the leaf grab!
Oh no!
Fortunately, not the craziest punish there. Paying a little patience. Stray hits. Burst to try and keep Dahi in the corner. Just barely able to connect the DP here. A lot of meter. No! Why are we dragon installing?
Porkchop!
Much of a risk. Porkchop We had Gunflame YRC.
You know, yeah, that dragon install's really unfortunate because I can see the appeal of trying to go for high power, closing it out. But when you're fighting Chip Xanath, any touch is a high-powered close it out. Like having that 75 meter, and like you said, Gunflame YRC, just keep it locked down. Because the dragon install, like we immediately saw Dahi just jumped out. Like there was no pressure to hold there.
Yeah, I think you need to find yourself like something like a counter hit Fafnir for you to be able to safely install into Dragon install. You could still probably get the pickup even in between. But like if you want to just go for a reset after that, that's the kind of like hits you need to be looking for, and the amount of time you have before your opponent gets up to safely transition into Dragon install without immediately giving the opportunity to your opponent to move around across the screen. And that's kind of the unfortunate side effect of just going for Dragon install on Oki. Maybe I guess like if Porkchop really wants to ball out for 50 meter into Dragon install, there is definitely routes you can convert into it, especially with 6p off the wall. It's enough hit stun for you to go into Dragon install and then close out of it.
Yeah, I had no idea about that. You gotta find your routes that let you go into the install properly.
Yeah.
I'm pro install supers, but you gotta know when to use them.
At the same time, it's like, what is Porkchop's objective in learning Xrd, right? Like, is it really to properly, like, do you want to learn Xrd the game, or do you just kind of want to be competent to a point where you can play what you think is fun to do and so, right? Like, are we trying to work ourselves up to the stale devil type of soul, or are we trying to push for greater heights, right? We're talking Deb pre-transition.
Yeah, Ramola. Shoutouts to Ramola.
Yeah, Ramola. That's her name.
Yeah, it's very somebody who wins can never beat somebody who's having fun. But I do think that winning is more fun than having fun sometimes.
Yeah, the fuck, I can't beat somebody who's having fun. What are you talking about?
Well, just in principle.
I'm doing backflips, popping off on them, just like, how about I have fun? Ooh! Hey, rolling bad.
Rolling styling on Morav right now. Morav, this is the loser's side match for 7th place. First time seeing Morav, but always love seeing a Raven. But we already saw in that first round is like, Raven's got a very bad stun value, and Slayer kind of the king of knockouts. So this can be a very bad position for Raven to be in. First out by Morav. Low and a little bit of damage. Crosswise catching the glide here. Gets the knockdown. A little bit of pressure. Nice 2K by Morav. Just stuffing that with the low leg. The long leg, rather.
Nice 2K. Bites. Counter hits.
Ooh!
Just cleaning up.
Well, that was a fast first round by Voland. Or fast first game, even. That's
It's the Slayer angle, right? Sometimes.
Yes.
And also, I keep forgetting, but like Raven does have a lower stun rating than most characters, right? Like gets stunned easier.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So for a character like Slayer, who can hit you pretty heavy and hard with some of these power bunkers, if you like to just like interact, trying to do Raven things, and you end up doing it slightly wrong here, again, interacting straight into the 6p counter hit, you're asking to get sped ran on.
Oh, there it is again. Yeah, wow. Yeah, there's a lot of complications to this matchup also, because Raven really doesn't get a lot of damage until that excitement meter goes up, and Slayer is super durable. So Morav's kind of got to get a good starting position in order to even think about representing a threat to Voland, and Voland just gets to have fun and be the biter. First out by Morav again. Voland back on the offense, though. Ooh, whoa, nice super. That won't do a lot of damage. It does at least get Voland off, but the excitement's gonna fall off because of that. So Morav kind of back to square one here.
Oh no, extending the normal into the crosswise. Able to get that last hit, looking for the RC off the... Oh, chip damage.
Gosh.
The very Slayer type thing, like, if you don't know what Slayer does, I mean, actually, in general, it's kind of just fighting games all around. Is if you don't know what the opponent does, they're going to run you over. But Slayer very much so with, if you are on the mindset of like, I don't know what this character does, so I'm just going to try and press what I can to just move my game state forward. Slayer is like grinning from ear to ear, being like, "Thank you for this meal, Lord," as I will power bunker them straight into the corner and they will never leave. So you need to really know how to like, you know, for some characters you can really ape out, but there's going to be the alpha silverback in the jungle that you just got to respect and be like, all right, boss, it's all you, do your shit. I will look at what you're doing on screen and try to react to that.
Yep. Yeah, and I feel like that same thing happened in Strive, right? When Slayer came out, and then everyone's like, Slayer's just beating the hell out of everyone. And it's kind of like, yeah, well, you gotta be ready for Slayer, and you gotta know their game plan, because Slayer's game plan is like the most destructive, like 5 punches. But that looked like a tough matchup for Morav in general, but with a little bit of experience, I think it'll be a lot easier. My feeling would be that Needle puts in a lot of work to stuff a lot of those dandy steps, because that's like a very good projectile to just keep the activity going. And then once the Needle hits, you know, that locks down a lot of Slayer movement.
Oh, that's actually a really good point. Yeah, definitely. Like, started off with needling, because Slayer can also 6P in response to Needle to try and get through. And sometimes, if you try to Needle YRC, he can 6P both. It's very, very cruel. But for somebody that really likes a dandy step like Roland, it's a very strong start.
Yeah. And Roland and B-Domp both agreeing in the chat, Raven is Slayer's easiest matchup. Yeah, it's sometimes it's just about the numbers. And yeah, that's kind of also bracket luck. Is like sometimes you just get the matchup where you're like, okay, well, I can just rubber stamp this one. So we'll see Roland again later. Safia versus Velvet Wolf, another 7th place match here. Baiken versus Eno. Kind of an interesting one. Eno having the Okizeme, but Baiken has all the denial tools.
Yeah, I think it's possible to take a page out of what you suggested earlier for the Raven, is when Baiken is constantly just doing tatamis, you're very welcome to just HCL her. Because Baiken is really just doing that, right? Throwing out tatamis to try and call you out with your limited air movement and your dive kicks, being like, hey, wouldn't it be really funny if you just flew straight into this? And HCL is your laser beam to, oh my god.
Good awareness by Velvet Wolf on the charge blitz, but unfortunately the punish didn't really work out because Safia went the other way, but still a pretty clean round for Velvet Wolf to start here.
That was nuts. Azami on the level 1 attack from Blitz. Crazy stuff there. Some really good reactions, honestly, from Velvet Wolf, just paying attention onto the screen. And again, the same thing applies where they're most likely going to be stand Azamiing against you, so Safia should just account for just going like air dash lows, or in this case, just making me look stupid, goes for the crouch Azami.
It's all mind games in a fighting game. You know, it's what are they expecting? What am I expecting them to expect?
Yeah.
Velvet Wolf with a nice dust loop here. Has 75 meter. Has 100 meter now. Yozansen always on threat.
Oh,
this goes for the air Azami. This dust loop might close it. There it is. That's game 1 to Velvet Wolf. Oh, it is Black Beat. That was a little bit too high, but Safia wasn't ready. Wasn't thinking about mashing out. To be fair, I wasn't either. I thought it would have been a real combo.
Yeah, hands off the stick already. Like, even if I mash out of that, I'm just like, oh, all good. We go next. We're good on that.
Hands off, take the extra second to think, and just be like, what do I got to change up here?
Yeah. It's very tough. Like, there's so much priority on the side for Baiken here. Velvet Wolf can really just do a whole lot of whatever, and especially somebody like Safia who likes to be very active, use some of these dive kicks. And the 2S unfortunately hitting not low. Find that out.
2S is a mid! Always something new to learn in Xrd.
Joe Johnson, unfortunately, YRC'd a little too early there.
Hey, the notes are out. Yeah, seeing the projectile war between Note and Totemi, it definitely, like, Totemi is more effective at shutting down Eno than Note is going to be at stopping Baiken, because, you know, it's kind of like if you see that fireball coming and Velvet Wolf just ready to Azami it, Velvet Wolf on the offense. Got the Suzer on throw. Set point Velvet Wolf now.
I don't think Note is the tool you really want to use to play. Like, it's good for controlling space against characters that have like very little to contest it. But the Tatami, like the fact that Tatami Match just hits it and it sits there active away from Velvet Wolf, just kind of like not my problem anymore. It's not the projectile you're looking for to play with here. But good air throw, put him back to the ground. Still, that doesn't deter Velvet Wolf from running straight in there, making it all about himself.
Oh no, Safia tried to 6P here and is getting a huge punish for the attempt. Velvet Wolf kind of one touch away now. Has 75 meter. Safia getting an opening with the low. Safia's, you know, Safia's offense just kind of looks like she's doing her best with it. The JD and Velvet Wolf mashed on the gap. And wins it 2-0. Holy cow, that... thoughtful or just sending it with confidence, who can say?
Who can say indeed, yeah. I know definitely a character that can really overwhelm a lot of people, especially when you get your momentum rolling. But for characters that have really good neutral presence and can just put all kinds of stop signs in your way, for somebody who unfortunately, very tragically, doesn't have the greatest ground movement, you need to really pick your battles a lot more carefully. And I think HCL, with the right, like, you know, spacey, because it's not gonna be as crazy big as Beak Driver, for example, but they can definitely do some proper call outs when somebody is very adamant on just being active, pressing something, always deploying projectiles on the screen to quickly snipe them and inch a little close to them every time.
Yeah, that's I think something about like something that can happen with Baiken, and it may be harder to do this as Eno because Eno's like neutral movement is a little bit different, but like if the Baiken player likes to just use Tatami and fall back, and then you can get them into the corner and get a strong position from there, it's you can sort of play the slower game of like very slowly making your way across with like VCL, HCL, but unfortunately that's just that's Safia out at 7th place, but a good showing to her tonight. And we're moving on to Roland versus Phil.
Yeah, we already saw a very interesting response there from Phil using the 2D. Oh my god, Roland.
Roland with the loser side energy right now.
Absolutely. I mean, it's demon time now. We got no more safety nets to cover for our mistakes. But we did see something interesting from Phil already, right? Using the 2D. Okay, bye. Using the 2D to be able to be active enough to actually blow up Danny Step, but it's only answers a sub. Oh, hey. I ask and I receive. Sacred Edge loops in the corner.
Merry Christmas, Yucker.
Thank you.
Okay, Roland bursting out with 100 meter, but Phil gets right back in after the burst again. We've seen him do that so many times. Roland stopped FDing before the projectile was over. Unfortunately, just gave that burst up without a lot of recourse.
Yeah, so this is a very interesting matchup overall because it's like, you know, there's a lot of priority that Slayer has into Kai, but it's still going to be mostly a call-out game for both. And ultimately, the one that's better off with the knockdowns is going to be Kai, because what, like, we talk about BDC, and I think, like, yes, it's going to be a big execution check on Roland's side if he just has that at the very right timing to be able to escape the grinder. But if not, you're stuck standing and you hold this 50-50, and at worst, you mess it up and you actually just get hit out by it.
Yeah, active frames are kind of like, you know, Kai 2D, there's a lot of active frames that Kai has to like really make Slayer's life miserable. So as long as Roland isn't on defense, it's a good position. But as soon as either player's on defense, it's a tough game. Helter Skelter YRC. Oh, didn't really have a big convert on it though. And the crosswise gets a small punish. Oh, there's that air dash again.
Oh, 6K, interesting. The 2D call out there. But, oh, no. Oh wow, what a read there. Seeing that Roland might go for something sneaky like dash through throw. Ah! It's the go-to for Slayers to try and cheese out a win on the round there. But Phil, very, very much in control. Even on a really bad start, is able to just make a comeback. Grinder, too difficult for somebody to actually try and escape from.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Roland got a counter hit from like downtown. And it's hard to say what they were trying. Still using danger time opportunity to get the ride the lightning. An immortal counter here. There's one for Phil.
Ooh, that angle active enough to be able to. Oh, what a blitz! It's a very solid. Oh, okay. Well, worked out, I guess.
Fascinating interaction.
Oh no, crosswise.
Unfortunately, it didn't work out anything for Roland, but
I think Roland was
kind of wonder if like BDC Dot would have done something.
Dot isn't. Maybe I don't know if it transfers the invuln correctly because Dot isn't invuln unless it's bursted, or like I don't even actually. I don't even know if it's invuln if it is bursted because it's just frame 0 then, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, I think like there it's if you got the buffer timing down, you could look to do. Actually, no. Can you even BDC? Because like I assume even with the buffer, you need one frame where you're in sort of a legal position to actually input a dash. And that one frame is what lets the grinder hit if it's like just sitting there meaty on you. So, yeah, I don't think actually Slayer has an answer into it. You just has to, genuinely the time that Slayer has to hold it. Okay, for everyone that hates playing into Slayer, time to pick up a Pocket Kai.
Yeah, that's kind of real. Kai's got some good active frames for that, and especially tools like Stun Dipper, also a big deal. Here we go, you Pork Chop versus Velvet Wolf. 5th place match here. Pork Chop hoping to make it to her first Rookie Roman Cancel win. I think Velvet Wolf is as well.
A lot of first timers here. It's a very volatile bracket because a lot of the people we've come to expect to win these have moved on, so it's ripe opportunity for those who remain and all the newcomers to finally get their hard-deserved win.
Yeah, we're the next graduating class in a way, because we hit the big graduations over the summer, and then we're in our second year now, and this is sort of the second season for everybody to do their best. Pork Chop with a nice 5k convert here, going for the OTG damage. Velvet Wolf with a very heroic burst. But I do think Velvet Wolf can make it happen. Suzerain throw, gonna have a Dust Loop here. Knock down, one more touch. Yozanson gotta be on the table. Nice jump. The chicken block by Pork Chop, but the wild throw missed. And Velvet Wolf hangs on.
I like the attempt to just try and, in a very like scary and volatile situation, to go for a little throw, command throw action no less, right, to try and win out in the end. But still, for somebody as jumpy as Baiken, you think you'll learn pretty quick that wild throw is not going to be the greatest in scrambles. Nevertheless, right, Gunflame working out for a good start here. Backdash Velvet Wolf to create a bit of space on Punishable. The Tatami covering a lot of screen space. Not seeing the Red Azami, kind of a surprise.
Yeah, it's funny, you know, you mentioned Velvet Wolf's like airborne habits, very much like you gotta start thinking about the air game in that, and Soul's got some good air options, like a JP, a JH, an air throw, like a lot of opportunity here. Run up DP by Pork Chop though. Velvet Wolf 100 meter, about to get burst back. The 2D beaten by the Suzerain. Uh-oh. Nice pickup.
Oh, the counter confirmed. RC wants to push down a little further, but the 5k was probably not the normal to look for here. Playing it from a distance, slight life advantage towards Pork Chop as she does hit the Fafnir. We're going to go for the hero burst here. Velvet Wolf believing that he can't close it out here with this life total, but you know, teetering on the edge there with the danger warning. Nevertheless, right, a good decision from Pork Chop. You don't want to advance too needlessly into the likes of, oh my god, the armor. We're interacting on each other so fast and so often. No!
And a great block on the DP as well. Oh my goodness, the Suzerain armor working out for Velvet Wolf right now. And I think it was, Velvet Wolf versus Grumpy, right? Where we saw Grumpy answering those Suzerains very effectively with Soul 2D, like doing Gunflame into Soul 2D. And Pork Chop having a little bit different answer for it, but not finding a good answer.
Okay, final burst, looking to do what? Oh my god, no. Pork Chop, it's never boded well, and I don't think it's about to start now. However, big explosion. I might eat my words here. Gunflame.
Yozanson!
Putting Velvet Wolf in the air was like, oh, wait, I can Yozanson now. Awesome. Okay, you want
the Riot Stamp follow-up was so funny. Yeah, what do we see?
We got to see a little bit more of Dragon's Stall, like, actually doing something for a chainsaw. Maybe
Yeah, I
if
agree.
Porkchop can't keep the run alive, right, inevitably Dragon Install will see full functionality.
Yeah, it's Chekhov's Dragon Install at this point. It's gonna come in handy one of these days, but she's got to stay in this bracket.
Surely, right?
It has to. It has to.
It's got it.
Any
Come
day
on.
now.
Unless,
90% of gamblers stop playing, you know, before they hit the big ones.
yeah, or it's just Stale Devil is like the fat guy behind the pipe, just like greedily absorbing all functionality of Dragon Install.
Oh, Danger Time working out for Velvet Wolf here. Kind of scary. Yeah, look, the Mortal counter Yozansen. Velvet Wolf didn't even need the meter for that. Didn't get the closeout, so Porkchop, at the very least, going to get a little bit of burst back, but has a nice combo here.
Ooh. Not getting a little bit punished on the 2H there, but DP right on through.
Nice
I do not
DP.
want to deal with the Tatami Mat, but going for the empty chump invites the throw from Velvet Wolf, putting himself on set point here. One round away from finishing off the 2-0. Has burst available. Porkchop not too far off from her very own, but a challenge attempt there without IBing sets up for the Azami punish right away. The reversal whiffing, and so far we're off to a very miserable start here for Porkchop.
Yeah, miserable start for Porkchop. And unfortunately, Porkchop kind of maybe cracking under the pressure. She's sending it a little bit harder. She's really starting to believe in something. The Dragon Install with this much health, you're going to be in big trouble. There's no way this finishes. Has to hold this super. Nice zombies by Velvet Wolf. You know, it's kind of funny that the buttons are powered up, but you still, you know, Gunflame's still a mid. Nice air throw by Velvet Wolf here.
Oh.
And the YRC didn't have the convert, but everything's coming up Velvet Wolf here. Porkchop's really got to figure out her game plan, but doesn't have the chance. And the holy fuck machine has left the room. Out of 5th place.
Unfortunately, it wasn't meant to be. But yeah, it's just one of those things where we talk about, you know, who's the alpha of the jungle, but at the same time, right, we have bulldozers coming in, just throwing down all your trees with tatami mats where you just can't really swing from vine to vine, unfortunately, and you just gotta play it the evolving Steam Age Civilization way. Slow and patient and boring.
Yeah, it's, you know, I mean, we talk about like Grompy versus Velvet Wolf earlier. It's very, like, Porkchop's kind of got to take a page from the Grompy matchup on that and just be a little bit more patient and just drawing things out from Velvet Wolf. Because Velvet Wolf just had the offense going and Porkchop was just trying to be a little bit too wild with it. And you just can't be that wild against Baiken, unfortunately. Like, if they get your read, it's a huge reversal on the momentum and everything.
Yeah, and especially like a lot of the wild options that you would want to go for. Like, I think it's mostly lopsided to being mids and high, so it just kind of loses out to stand Azami, or when air Azami. And I think Ground Viper is kind of one of the last things you want to go really hectic on. But here we go.
Good stuff to
Dahi.
Porkchop out at 5th. Yeah, this is winners finals.
Oh, we already made it this far? Well, it's going to be our first of 3 of this set. Dahi versus Grompy. Grompy, of course, very eager at that graduation opportunity, and it's never been so close in a long time.
Yeah, you know, we talked about the saying 5th place Ferdinand earlier. Grompy guaranteed at least top 3 now, but we've seen Grompy in these top 3 situations before, and very capable of winning the bracket. So we gotta see what they can do. And Dahi also, I think, has been an incredible force of nature as a chip player in this bracket.
Yeah,
So this will be big.
a chip that can like slightly understand how to smartly navigate his buttons and how to use the teleports and such, and really run the O-key mix-ups is going to be an absolute threat to, you know, a bracket where not a lot of people understand what's going on with their opponents. Where Chip in general kind of doesn't really need to know. It's like in the Slayer vein of things, right? Where you are so proactive and such a constant neutral threat that it's actually your opponent that really needs to understand what they're doing to you to then put you in a situation where you completely and horribly lose.
Yeah, absolutely. And we saw, like, right there, Dahi teleporting away from the Gunflame neutral and just getting a push, gets a touch with the overhead. Won the burst out of Grompy, but Grompy's still managing to make this work right now. 100 meter, and next touch would kill here. What a great combo by Grompy.
Yeah, able to
Oh,
end
but the
it with
2P!
DP cross. Wow, okay, the nice cross cut there. To call out the options. Thankfully for Grumpy's side, right, Dahi was a little slow with what he was looking for. Big 6H counter hit, but unfortunately got caught by a stagger counter hit in response, meaning you're not able to capitalize off of the trade situation here. Holding these plus frames at 2D finds its opening, however, no major extension. Still though, Dahi pushing some good amount of damage here. Comes to mix up once more. Then Grumpy back to the corner. What we got? Just a meaty 5k.
Meaty 5k, and it works. Goes for the fake teleport. Grumpy has to worry about a lot at this point. The Gamma Blade trade doesn't let Grumpy make the most of that Gunflame. And the Wake Up 2P again. You know, that was the second time we've seen this Wake Up 2P, and it is one of those, like, minute things you gotta worry about with Chip is that he does have a very late Wake Up. So you gotta expect your meaty timings to be a little bit on the later side. And that kind of thing can throw you off if you're not looking for it.
Yeah, I think in Grumpy's
making
case,
the most of it there.
They were looking for that plus frames there. Like you can see, right, 2K looking to do some kind of tick throw stagger action, but we haven't quite represented the stagger follow-up just yet. So Dahi is just emboldened to press whenever he sees the 2K come out from Grumpy.
Right. Oh, the Whopper missed! Things coming up good for Grumpy here. Alpha Blade RC keeps the offense going. Wrecker 3 hits overhead. Oh, nice! Good patience by Grumpy to block that Gamma Blade and then just let the Gunflame rock.
Absolutely. We just see some crazy teleports. I do like from Grumpy just going for the JH, right? At least you're hoping that Dahi flies into it by accident, or if you're holding a direction and possibly looking for the air throw even, but Dahi now pushing the damage a little bit, has a little meter left. JD counter hit, not able to get the pickup. So Grumpy with one last chance. The YRC, OTG.
Yeah, teleport YRC into the air throw is such a strong tool for Chip. And Dahi made a good use of the OTG afterwards. Looking to go up 2-0 in this winners finals now. Early burst by Dahi, feeling the momentum.
Nice good blocks, good patience, good stagger pressure. Volcanic Viper whiffing, gonna get the burst out instead there, so bringing it back to neutral. However, each JD counter hits, that's gonna be a full extension towards the corner. The teleport, catching the backdash, the conversion. We got the jump installed to go with it as well, bring it back down to the mid screen. What's the mix? Still invisible, Gamma Blade forced to block, but the 2D able to call out the follow-up.
Yeah, Dahi's invisibility has been so interesting because it adds an extra layer of like mental games onto the offense. So Grumpy now being able to see their target, gets a nice dust loop off the wild throw, has 50 meter here. With some Gunflame pressure. Wow, the trade off of dead angle, and Dahi just sends the Beta Blade. Wow, what a level of confidence by Dahi. 2-0 now. Grumpy has to turn it around if they want to get into grand finals from winner's side.
Yeah, I do like the angle to just like play for more secured Oki, right? Looking for that Gunflame YRC. But I think, I don't know how much of an impact it had on the last interaction, but we did see a red RC there from Grumpy, so a slight miss time, costing a whole lot of meter. But maybe even then, right, like, because it comes out, like, because you're actionable a little later and all of the things just happen ever so slightly later, right? It's just that brief window Dahi needs. But we're now seeing very much what can happen to Chip if they fly a little too close. No, the drop there. One last chance. Gunflame to re-engage there. Plus frames just waiting out, looking for an option from Dahi. Counter hit, using the burst here
the
early.
Burst.
Okay, closing.
Yeah, Grumpy kind of had a free round ticket that they could redeem, and then dropped it at the last moment and had to give up the burst to close that out. That's unfortunate.
I don't hate the burst that late particularly, especially into Chip, because Chip is very much a do a lot of hits in your combo type of character. So you can definitely get that burst refunded quickly. And Chip able to run an entire sequence off you is very prone for comebacks to occur.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's very true. Yeah, it's a good way to stop the momentum out. Nice blitz by Grumpy. Doesn't get the revolver knocked down. Maybe Dahi just moving a little bit too fast for Grumpy to follow. We're not really seeing some of the knockdown conversions quite yet. Some JH, some good footsies here. Nice air throw attack.
Yeah, I was looking to go for the anti-air throw once more, but this time a lot more in control, right? Just keeps, if you could put the Chip player on the back foot, they still have some decent tools to, of course, interact with gear in general. They are Chip after all, but
yeah,
you can see with slight mistimes and nice counter hits, Grumpy can really just steal rounds. So it's always about forcing Chip to play your game. Actually, it's kind of a moot point. It's about, in any fighting game, it's about making the opponent play your game, but it's doubly so for Chip because there is very little playing his game.
Yeah. Yeah, and very much like Grumpy doing that stagger pressure. We saw Dahi just get opened up by the stray hits, and even stray hits on Chip add up to a lot of damage.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, very nice. Bring it down to the corner. Gunflame YRC forced to block for a little bit. We see the trade still. It is Grumpy in control of the pressure. Looking for the Bandit Bringer. Anti-air 6.
Nice
but
6P!
S error. Still looking for the OTG to try and kill. Can advance a little bit forward. The JD. Thankfully, no counter hit. And the 2D on the point blank Gamma Blade. Surprising to not see the YRC come out.
Yeah, also surprising Dahi not using burst for that first round. Just, I think that's kind of one of those things you got to worry about when you're playing Chip, is like that resource management. It's like if he used that burst the first round, it could be a bigger problem this second round.
Yeah, and especially against a character like Soul, who very much is going to be about doing some really hard hitting hits, like few, but they hit like a truck. You're not going to get your burst refunded too quickly here, and just the way this momentum is running, I don't think that's too much of a problem for Dahi just yet. However, stuck into the corner, we see the 5P. Good stagger pressure, however, not able to get the pickup just yet. It is on Grumpy now to either steal the round or at least look for the burst to come out. The Gunflame! Still the Gunflame! And we see the being lost out there, but objective 1 achieved. Dahi is without burst.
Yeah, Grumpy getting that burst out. Every touch is gonna be lethal in this point. Or not totally lethal, but at least, like right now, we got 4 hits on Dahi, 40% gone. A nice combo here, the revolver pushing towards the corner. The air dash.
Yeah, stop. Go for the reset.
Okay.
Are we matching out? No
it's 2-2.
chance. Oh, Grumpy 2-2. Very nice. Just a very comfortable round overall. All because, right, Dahi had to use the burst towards the end there. If that sort of variance didn't happen earlier, it wouldn't have turned out this way, right? We still had the burst. There was still opportunities for Dahi to play out. So we're in the final game here on Winners Finals. Both players already trading projectiles into each other. Looking for that JHS either to just try and snipe Dahi out of a teleport or go to either get an air throw or tech it.
Dahi trying to play the neutral here, but Grumpy just a little bit more on the outside. Oh, the leaf grab! Grumpy blocked too long.
Oh, that's an unfortunate trade. Could have definitely had a little bit of a greater pickup there, but still, we're building up these stray hits here. Dahi is on the back foot. We do see the time stone being used here to get the air throw. Empty jump low. Going for the burst. Do not let Dahi start up this pressure.
Yeah, Dahi using that full screen to go invisible now. Pretty smart. Grumpy has no meter to work with. Dahi's got 1 YRC if he wants to use it. Just gets the teleport cross up. Caught Grumpy blocking low. Set point Dahi now for the first time in a minute.
And still with burst available. Grumpy is, of course, not too far off from their own, and considering the Chip character, right, we could definitely see that being coming online sooner than later, but a big 2HS is definitely going to push some nice bit of damage. Not going to get the knockdown due to Beta Blade Ender immediately. We see Grumpy trying to challenge in there, but the teleport's able to escape the Gunflame. 2D call out there. Big Fafnir.
Here we go. Post the football gifs. Dahi says no. Teleport YRC. Getting the party started now.
Nice IBs, but no punish. Still able to survive. Trying to press too many buttons here. Gets thrown off of the stagger state there to the corner. Look for that JHS. Good blocks. Not getting the 2D punish. The YRC back, but it's going to be Dahi coming out on top. The invisibility. One last burst. Patience. Grumpy. Finally got it. Drag him all the way to the corner. Do we get the pickup here? We do. Sloop confirmed. Get the knockdown. Wait. Chip only runs?
Nice. Knockdown.
To us.
Grumpy's got 25 meter. Using the Gunflame RCs.
One last mix up there. Might have been, maybe could have tried the blitz there because we haven't seen Dahi bait that out just yet, but nevertheless, coming up just barely short of it, and that's going to be Dahi sitting in the winner's side of Grand Finals. Not the end for Grumpy though, as you said, right? Minimum top 3 finish, so still in that loser's finals position, a chance to get that run back. But first, we're going to be having Velvet Wolf versus Phil here to determine who will be the one to face off against Grumpy for that final slot in Grand Finals.
Yeah, what a set. And you know, Doggy, Grumpy both had one golden fish, so Grumpy in a very comfortable position to get that graduation. Only needs one more first to 3 to get out of here. And definitely has the chip gameplay to show it off, right? We saw the Find Me, we saw the tactics with teleports. It's gonna be curious to see who can beat him. And well, the first question is if either Phil and Velvet Wolf can beat Grumpy, but they have to beat each other first. So the last first to 2 of the night, Kai versus Baiken. I feel like we've seen this one a little bit.
It's been a while since I definitely saw this action happen on the screen, and I think for the most part, I don't know. Like, can Baiken Azami through the grinder? I'm not sure.
My feeling is that she can. But we've kind of seen Phil already represent the throw in this situation. Like, Phil is very much thinking about his Ami and going for these throws. And Kai throw, not the biggest reward, but even just getting it in the mind to not let the opponent think about his Ami can be a very big deal. There's the laser YRC, and it's the kill for that first round.
Yeah, you can already see how uncomfortable Phil is making this for Velvet Wolf, where typically Velvet Wolf has had the freedom to just be able to deploy all kinds of tatamis, constantly Azamiing, suzeraning his way forward through things. But now Phil, very much in control, just puts you into the grinder, and you have to play a much slower game. And already we see the follow-ups being baited out, the run-up, just patience, not overextending himself too needlessly here, always making sure to be outside of these follow-up options. And just like that, working on a perfect, and still plenty of meter to play with the laser beam, just narrowly avoiding 2HS counter hit trade, and that is going to be the first game going to Phil.
Yeah, solid first game by Phil there. That 2H trade at the end and getting the convert at the end of all things. Pretty amazing. And Velvet Wolf, unfortunately, just didn't get an option or an opportunity to represent a lot of options. Tried the Azami Sakura, and it was getting counter hit. Just Phil's playing it very much in the spaces that he needs to. Gets a good throw here.
Oh, nice. Good patience. Ground throw. Deploys another heavy stun edge. Oh, good usage of the enemy stun edge to just get yourself in instead. Patience. Seeing the stance of the Azami and appropriately punishing. Good stuff. The 5k low. Very devious indeed. The grinder able to get the raw hit. RC wants to push the damage a little further. Split seal knockdown into the grinder, and once again, an error on Wake Up. Phil comfortably working on a win here. Set point.
Yeah, Velvet Wolf gonna get burst back in a matter of seconds. And the first Azami really working out for Velvet Wolf at this point. That's big money, but... Oh no! That Azami! Still getting some good safe jumps here. The green sever combo. Putting Velvet Wolf back in the corner. Seeing a little bit of FD from Velvet Wolf, and gets a nice Azami of his own again. It's a very violent matchup. Like, you can see Velvet Wolf making a lot of attempts on defense. And I think that's almost sort of a Baiken curse. It's like sometimes you just want to block it out, but especially when you have Azami, the temptation is always there to be like, I don't want to hold any of this. But unfortunately, had to maybe think about holding a little bit more, and Phil keeps the very solid offense with a clean 2-0. That's Velvet Wolf out of 4th place.
Yeah, just moving absolutely blindly fast, wanting to go straight into the lore matchup. Phil going to be facing off against Grumpy now for that grand final seat. It's all going to be first to 3s from here on out. Grumpy so close to being able to finally conclude the journey. But of course, we got 2 straight demons lying in wait to prevent their escape from the Rookie Roman cancel. Lex still needs their footage.
Yeah, this is definitely a top 3 of demons, I would say. Daki, Grumpy, and Phil, all very strong players in their own representative rights. Junkline confirming there will be a graduate today, so all 3 players here have won once before, which is a great memory for me. And we saw Grumpy versus Phil earlier on the winner's side, where Grumpy took it 2-1. So in a first to 3, that's either going to be Grumpy can run away with it, or there's always the chance that Phil was thinking about that winner's side match and will have the answers to represent over this longer set. So we have an interesting an interesting losers finals here.
We'll see what Grumpy can cook up. I think for the most part, like, it's going to be around navigating. I think just in general, Kai's ability to play a longer range more comfortably than Soul can, as well as just keep the grinder pressure going. You do have reversals, but against the grinder, it's still the king of just holding you down and forcing a window for Kai to do whatever he likes.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
They'll
Raven
play a
over
little bit more on the outside. Hell yeah. Oh, nice punish on the fireball. Phil giving up the burst. Still in the corner for a little bit, but making his way out.
Oh!
Wow, what a DP!
Fortunately, no conversion off the counter hit. Still going to be Phil's lead here. Getting the stun dipper to counter hit, secures the second hit portion of it, and now going to get the dust to push a little bit of damage. Unfortunately, Kai with no ability to get a knockdown from the air consistently. But still, life lead, and just you can see the panic here on Grumpy, looking for any opportunity to try and escape. Dead angles through the grinder, thankfully, but the Vapor Thrust coming out nice and meaty. The laser beams hold still for a bit, but we send it on the Ground Viper.
Yeah, sending it works, and the counter hit 6H! Beating out the charge blitz attack there. Grumpy was just in the right position. Has to worry about Vapor Thrust or any kind of button. The 2K, Phil keeping it simple, waited it out a little bit. But Grumpy did get their burst back for that just because of how long that round went. So,
absolutely
good position to be in for this second game. Phil's also going to get his back very, very shortly.
Oh, nice big 6P, but unfortunately not able to get too much off of it just yet. The Gunflame, we see Stun Edge being able to challenge into it. I think with the disjointed nature of the spacing with Gunflame, you could just press a meaty button to prevent the second stun edge. Nevertheless, right, it's still very much in Grumpy's favor currently. But the Blitz, fading the burst. Thankfully, gold burst for Grumpy, so not going to be punished out for it. 6P, that move has never anti-aired this well before.
That was such a high burst by Phil and nothing doing. Final round, game one, neither player gonna have burst. This could turn into a brawl fest. We've seen a lot of neutral, but every hit's gonna count, and Phil gets the first touch here with the Greed Sever. Good corner position.
Oh, another Greed
Grumpy,
Sever?
unfortunately. Yeah.
Oh. Oh, the loops. Can we get the split seal ender? No. Okay, backing off. Read the forward tech, but wasn't ready for that. How fast that JP was going to be moving. Stun, Dipper, getting that low. Greed Sever, the unblockable, air quotes, overhead. Like that, going to push the damage a little bit further. Right, the line is enough to get the kill. Oh my god, Phil. And
How did Phil get that much meter back? There was a reversal Sacred Edge, and then he suddenly had 50 meter again for that air combo.
Shoutouts to Tension Pulse.
Shoutouts to Tension Pulse. Go watch some old footage. I mean, shoutouts to the mechanic Tension Pulse as well, but go watch Tension Pulse on YouTube. That stuff was so hype.
Nice. Oh, wait, the one move to finally beat the 2D from Sol? Real? Oh, we're getting a little too greedy there with the 6HS on meaty. The Blitz called out with the 2D, and already we're just using an early burst to cut the momentum short here from Grumpy. Backing away, but there's no more screen to escape to. The 2D able to beat out the far slash. Once again, the Blitz not working out, and we're stuck into the corner, but the stun Dipper there. Ooh, clash, but no cancel, and the red X of shame.
Yeah, some really good like neutral navigation for Phil right now, where he's got the tools to beat out some of these common Soul buttons. The Stun Dipper's working against some of Grumpy's fireballs, the Greed Sever working against Soul 2D, but nothing to beat Wild Throw.
Yeah, stuck in the corner for the time being. We're looking to FD just to create as much space as possible. The 2D barely whiffs, and now we're in a little bit of a fuzzy state. We see Stun Edges being deployed. Finally, the YRC to just run it on forward. Grinder deployed. The air dash able to find the
it's a low
5K, so devious. Phil looking poised to extend his lead here, getting that beautiful 2HS. Not going to be pushing damage too much further. Was more looking for the guaranteed non-counter hit route. Getting very close to the burst here. Going to be opting to use it out to not suffer too much of a life deficit against Grumpy. And now we're just laser beaming for control against the screen. The grinder barely hitting there, but not enough to fully convert.
Grumpy did that run-up low blitz. I feel like we saw that in the first set as well. Grumpy maybe fishing out for the stun drift a little bit too hard. But low blitz losing to mid, so it makes projectiles effective. Oh, 5D by Grumpy, though. Getting the revolver knockdown here. 75 meter, the late air dash gets a counter hit. A nice death loop, but Grumpy drops it.
Wild throw avoided the PRC to cover for the error there. Gets the air throw. Wild throw once more. Just grappler stancing it. Doesn't run through, and I think that cost Grumpy potentially the finish there. One final interaction, jumps away. JS didn't staircase it properly. Phil giving up the turn to Grumpy. That means that Grumpy can press, and now we're at a round apiece. One away from Grumpy to tie up the set, and one for Phil to extend the lead.
Yeah, this is sort of a pivotal round, right? Because you either want to go 1-1 or you don't want your opponent to go 2-2 or a 2-0. And nice safe jump on the Vapor Thrust. Grumpy with a huge punish here. Has 50 meter to work with. Tried to go for the wild throw, but Phil jumped out. And get some projectile set up here.
Ooh, just using these plus frames to really bully Grumpy towards the corner. However, when the moment called for it the most, anti-air, the air dash out. Phil came a little short here, so we're back to interacting. Didn't have the meter to escape, but fortunately not able to get punished too heavily by the 6HS there. Ooh, 2D under the
Wow, 2D under the fireball!
Tech, JHS getting the hit here. Grinder comes out, the run for it. Dead angle, enough of that. We still have plenty of meter. Look at the green, never call out, but the air normal's covering RTL. Good response.
Not a big punish by Grumpy, but getting the burst out and everything else. Phil's got to use his wits, and even those don't save him. It's 1-1. Phil was going for a lot of upbacking in that second game. Like, kind of, like, I don't have to hold as much as I don't want to, but Grumpy kept the chase going.
You know, this is actually pretty decent practice for Grumpy, all things considered, because towards the end there, Phil was really just kind of going nutso to just finish off and take the lead here, whereas Grumpy definitely played a little bit more cool, calm, collected, placing their options correctly, carefully covering for some of these real big haymakers that Kai can also deploy, which will be a good setup if they end up winning and going to face off against Dahi.
Right. First stop by Grumpy here. Keeping the fireball pressure going. Phil using FD here to try to make some space. Oh! Counter hit far flash. Oh wow, the YRC saving from the 2D. Yeah, the neutral has just slowed down so much in this third game. Phil with a nice 2H though, caught Grumpy jumping.
It's an interesting reversal situations, right? Because like I think you don't really want to slow down the neutral too much against Kai, because that gives him all the freedom to constantly set up grinders, lasers, and also just back away, because he has some really big normals to control the space. But of course,
right,
it's about moderation.
Yeah, it's also especially about knowing when to press your advantage. Grumpy, believing in the late air dash there, got a nice hit off of it. You know, it's like when you're playing Kai, it's very much like you gotta trust that they're not gonna want to do Vapor Thrust, because Vapor Thrust is kind of bad. And so believing in those overheads is like critical for the time being. Stun Dipper RC for Phil now. Grumpy gonna get their burst back. Nice block on the Greed Sever. Small punish, but keeping the life lead going.
Oh wow,
no!
The active frames of Greed Sever able to get the hit there towards the very end. Not enough for the knockdown, but still YRC, or the red RC off of the Vapor Thrust. Still a Gunflame eating, looking for the very aggressive burst there. Wants to keep Grumpy stuck in the corner, but gets snatched out of the sky. Low, down to the pixel health here. Grumpy not having to use burst just yet. It's going to be holding this grinder. No RC, we just had some plus frames. Stun Dipper looking to just get the screen position advantage. A lot of IBs, very threatening, but no!
Grumpy in a tough spot here.
The Vapor Thrust! Oh my god, no, I think it's a really solid call out. I think maybe if the variance was right, Phil might have gotten hit by like the very last tick there of Gunflame, but I think Grumpy might have just ran it a little too deep there. And even then they were just really hoping that it would have like forced them to like eat the hit or something.
Yeah, the Gunflame's so unfortunate there, but good awareness by Phil going for the going for the invuln wake up. It's kind of like if I hit first, I win the round. And Phil now up 2-1, reversing it from the winner's side match. Only one game away from going to face Dahi. And a strong round opening for Phil right now. Grumpy doing some good IBs on the charged stun edge, but unfortunately just stuck playing defense.
Counter Vapor Thrust is going to be setting up for a beautiful combo here. Phil on set point here, comfortably with a burst available, but Grumpy not too far off from their own, so definitely a chance for a do-over should the game state go a little out of their favor.
Yep. Nice fallback on the fireball there, standing right outside the range. The clash kept Phil, didn't really give him an opportunity to go back to mid-screen. Back against the wall for Phil now, using the meter to push back towards mid-screen. But Grumpy just crouch blocking too long, wasn't thinking about the green sever. Nice block! And it was a punish into a reset, you know? Gets the knockdown here. 50 meter.
Ooh.
Vapor thrust.
We're not done balling out just yet. Drag him all the way towards the corner. We see Phil deploying some of these longer range. Red RC gets a... Oh my... I guess able to find an opening thanks to just the natural frame trap. Oh. The 5K, 5HS, but still Grumpy, not the turd. OTGs and the wall throw whiff there, but not the craziest punish from the side of Phil. Still deploying plus frames. Really likes using Stun Dip and Red RC just to get right in the face of his opponent. A little too close, not able to get the second hit. Locks out the pressure for the time being, backs away. This is not the time for you to use burst. Instead, getting the staircase. Grumpy hoping to try and interact there the wrong time. But the ground fight was sending it. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Grumpy showing that Soul has some surprises of his own too. Just not ready for that instant fast low. Grumpy's still in this, but Phil with another great round start touch. And still has his burst because he didn't use it on the last round.
Yeah, unfortunately put himself into the corner. Phil landing these two HSs, but we see him going for the non-counter hit route, able to narrowly avoid the burst here. Still no punish, so it's kind of a net neutral situation for both, but so long as it's not in Grumpy's advantage. Using the burst there to cut the momentum short. No anti-air, but gets the ground throw, stuffs him into the corner. To dust, landing, sticks, follow-up, and that is going to be the kill. Phil closes it out 3-1. Face off against Dahi in the grand finals.
Well, good try to Grumpy. Unfortunately, the curse remains. Grumpy out at third place with a fantastic showing this week. And so good to be back at Rookie Roman Cancel to see all these great matchups. But today we will have a graduate. It's going to be Dahi versus Phil, the 4-letter name matchups. In a first to 3 for grand finals.
Yeah, and especially
third place,
Phil,
Ferdinand.
Unfortunate. Especially for Phil coming in on the loser side means that he's going to have to win a cumulative of 6 games total to Dahi's 3 for the win of this week's Rookie Roman Cancel. Already we see the powerful 2S from Chip starting off the control here. Playing a little slow because some of these buttons from Kai can be quite threatening on the run-up. But immediately, once you do find the knockdown, it becomes all about blinding mix-ups that Kai doesn't really have the greatest answers to.
Yeah, it's a lot of... Wow, air throw! Air throw works for everybody, though. This is it's going to be a tough one, because it does feel like if Dahi's going to win, he's going to win in this first set. Like he's either going to have the momentum and the winner's side advantage to really turn it around, or Phil's going to have to figure stuff out in this first game, and then at that point he just has the answers against Dahi. But so far Dahi in a very strong position. But wow, what a reversal by Phil! Can't get the grinder set up though.
Stun Dipper looking for the 2H anti-air, finds the mark. Pixel health comeback, preserving the burst through it all. Phil able to start it off pretty good here if he can keep up this pace, right? Like you said, I think the more games it goes, I agree, it looks more and more like Phil's win because it's all about momentum for Dahi, and if it's already this much of a struggle fest, it's not boding well.
Yeah. Phil kept that burst in the back pocket, using it on this round now, and a nice blitz, getting to turn it around. Forcing Chip to block with these projectiles is like such a big deal too. But the counter hit JD, that's big money. Welcome to the corner mix-up. Yeah.
The jump install as well, my goodness. Going for that knockdown, getting the invisibility. Good luck blocking it. And unfortunately, Phil fails the challenge. And I think, yeah, with the super, is going to get the finish there.
Yeah, it's always so interesting because I feel like Chip has a lot of great Guts Crush finishers. But seeing that Ryu Yanagi before it kills, it did give Phil his burst back. So both players with burst in the final round of game 1 here. Phil giving up his burst very quickly again. And like you said before also, is that Chip combos are just kind of suited for giving a lot of burst back.
Yep.
Dahi getting some good momentum here. Oh, wow, the Vapor Thrust. They say you can't hit what you can't see. Phil disagrees.
Ooh, another Vapor Thrust, big counter hit as well. Unfortunately, wasn't able to side swap to just get him back into the corner, but the damage was good nonetheless. And the stun coming out. Oh,
Yep.
Yeah, has to burst out there, but immediately just dashing in says, we are not done yet. I want this win right now. No invisibility shenanigans, no teleports, no meter usage. You die.
Yeah, Phil has consistently shown, like, no respect for his opponent's burst. It's like, Dahi bursts there, and Phil says, no, I got an air dash. I got a sword. I'm coming back in there. And that's first game to Phil. Just, it's the most important thing you can do in a fighting game is never let your opponent play. And Phil knows that. And Kai really suits that as well with the fireballs.
Almost certainly. Yeah, you can just set up a very dangerous no-go zone, especially also the JD we saw earlier. If Phil can guess right and just deploy that JD, you can see Dahi accidentally teleport into it like before and just get double sealed. Oh, loops. Nice.
Yeah, Dahi's got those. And it's a good chunk of damage, too.
Absolutely.
Dahi with a round on the board and a good burst.
Oh, not able to get the convert off of the air dash. It's going to be Dahi instead setting up the invisibility, looking to punish something, but just, knows about the actions of Phil, how he likes to play some of these longer range normals, just deploys the Gamma Blade, keeps it nice and safe. Plus frames. The RC has him in the corner. Good block on the green Sever.
Yeah. A very greedy Sever, especially. Like, Phil was keeping that chain going for so long, just hoping to open Dahi up with all that risk. But Dahi holding on back to mid-screen annoyance now, but teleports into a grinder. YRC war.
Works out for Phil here. Run up, close slash. The 2P mash on the 6HS. I'm surprised that worked out in Dahi's favor. Oh, no wall cleanse here. I guess the combo 2, no, but loops him out of the corner here. 5HS was looking for that throw. Still gets a low. No, OTG hit there. Was looking for the RC off the... Oh, the patience IPs it. Goes for the burst here. Dahi wants to close out right now. YRC scaling the damage.
Oh, no!
Debates something. The overhead narrowly whiffing, and Phil was not ready to block that. 2S hitting, and the Gamma Blade coming out just clutch before the Stun Dipper can connect. Dahi ties up the set.
We've seen so many of these players, like, just being resilient down to the very last pixel. And on chip, that's no small feat, because Dahi was at death's door for a lot of that set, and then just kept it tight, and now it's 1-1. And for Dahi, that's a big deal because he's only got to think about winning 2 more games. And like you said, Phil has to think about winning 2 more games and then winning 3 more games.
Yeah, it's quite the long haul for Phil to make this full win here, but so far we are able to tag Dahi in these opportunities where he's looking to just create a little bit of space between himself and his opponent to then start off his teleport pressures once more. But so far, Phil is not too keen on letting that. You're going to stay stuck in this corner. Misses the meaty, like you mentioned before, Chip, a little bit of an awkward wake-up timing. Doesn't go for the OTG attempt there to get the kill, and this is going to be a pretty big opener for Dahi. Gets the side swap. Beta Blade means no ender. Look for the green Several wake-up, but gets chucked out of the air. Has a lot of meter to play with. Immediately PRCing, kind of a waste of 50 bar. And we can see that slowly but surely Dahi is making his comeback happen. But just at the last second.
It was a long road to hoe, but I think especially Dahi at that low health gets to restore the burst faster, got a lot of his burst back, and gets the opportunity to use it very quickly in the second round to try to make things better.
That's true, but Phil also ended up using his burst pretty early, so he already has it back as well. Gets a 3H on the leaf. We'll find the 2K, put him into the corner. Good block on the late air dash, plus frames. A lot of IB attempts, but it's not working out for Dahi. Here comes the pressure once again. Going for the dead angle, has had enough. Looking for the stun dipper. Gamma Blade whiffs, knocked into the corner. Are we gonna go for the low this time? Yes, there it is.
Oh, but it OTG'd! The Tech JH! Dahi's got a chance here, but Phil has his burst and can take the opportunity to change the momentum whenever he wants, but might not even have to worry about it. The stun dipper footsies Phil up 2-1 in this first set of Grand Finals.
Okay, Phil. Interacting. Patience. Not much you can do against the close slash. Able to avoid the Gamma Blade by dashing over it. However, the Alpha Blade's going to connect. A little too late on the follow-up there. But still, Phil not taking out of it. Going to be bursting here, trying to get a bit of space played. Clash, very unfortunate, but still able to find the hits nevertheless. And here comes the grinder.
Yeah, big clash for Phil because now he's in such a great position here. Chip gonna be forced to block all this. Trying to use the teleport fake outs to bait Phil into doing something, and it's kind of working. Counter hit Gamma Blade, getting the 6H loop. Goes for the low this time. Alpha Blade combo. One more touch for Dahi and the JH overhead. Counter hit something. Dahi with another round on the board. I've got a feeling this will go to game 5, Yucker.
It could very much go, unfortunately, teleporting straight into the seal. It could definitely go that distance, but it's all about whether or not Phil is able to restrain himself a little bit against this chip press. As JS able to stall into the air, but the late seal activation, able to call out the Alpha Blade. The patience, this time no seal, looking for the heavy grinder, but it's going to be Dahi flying straight in there. Messes up the knockdown portion, but the JD corrects the situation ever so slightly. We're back to interacting, but gets the stun dipper to connect. Green Sever whiffing, patience.
Oh. Yeah, good backdash on the Green Sever. Didn't have a punish, but at least in a good position, winning the burst out from Phil again. And nice patience by Dahi right here, too. He's had so many of these interactions with the grinders go wrong, and he just waits it out this time. Draws Phil out of the cave and gets a nice hit. Has to RC that stun dipper because it was a little bit too close. 2H! That's 2-2.
Big counter hit here. Dahi, 1 game away. The big graduation. Can he make it all the way through there? It definitely can swing either side because both players are really able to run the momentum over the other. But I just think that just how much priority Chip has in the neutral, constantly creating very awkward situations that are generally very difficult to find one clean answer to. He's definitely very favored to get these momentum trains going. But of course, Phil, with a well-placed read, is able to just completely dominate over Dahi instead. And now both are just kind of dancing around one another, looking for an opportunity to get their game plan started.
Yeah, both players kind of going hand over hand, trying to find their grasp. And Dahi running in with the counter hit, doesn't have a big combo on it. Nice throw on the stagger.
Yeah, ooh, trading into one another, but the 2D is not going to find its mark. Does get the read on the Gamma Blade, but unfortunately JS is not the tool there to go for the air to ground. And Dahi is able to put himself on tournament point now. Both players are away from burst, but it is going to be Phil that's a little closer to Dahi for activating it in this round here. Already trapped in the corner, finds that 6B on the far slash attempt there. Has known that that's a sequence that Phil seems to favor, right? Far slash into that stun dipper. We're balling out once more, but didn't get the meter to make it safe. He's gonna have to burst out.
Yeah, Phil having to burst out from that stun dipper could be a very big deal, but very smartly keeping the pressure going. Wow, Dahi just mashes out with the 5P though. It's so fast. Dahi with a great combo here.
Oh,
and the low, the blitz was beaten out by the low. Phil went for the blitz call out at the end of all things.
Nice spacing
for Dahi.
Oh, the first. JHS.
Teleport RC.
Oh wait,
He's
that's it. Oh, Dahi able to clutch it out, very well placed, finishing it 3-2, and finally finding the graduation from the rookie Roman cancel bracket, and on the 26th edition.
What a beautiful set. That really could have gone either way. Unfortunately, Phil just, I don't even know how to say it fell apart at the end. I think Dahi just kind of locked in. The real biter says, GG's, congrats on me being rid of you. That's true. Yeah, Chip Zanoff graduating out of the bracket. Dahi with a incredible 3-2 in grand finals. What a set. What a weekend. What a great return to rookie Roman cancel.
Yeah, these are some really good games towards the end there. It's always a pleasure to see the hard work, and you could see the gradual transition from beginner to intermediate, and then of course the final conclusion, the graduation. So fortunately, that's going to be the end of about seeing Dahi on rookie Roman cancel. Hopefully, he'll be able to return to the likes of Burst to 5, or maybe it's time to play with the big dogs over at Salty EU. We will see where this goes. But of course, Phil very close, and Grumpy also in that third place. Their time will come. Of course, I think at some point you're kind of concerned because you're running out of players.
That's, we had that concern after the graduation season where it was kind of like, tell your friends, come join Rookie Roman Cancel if you're in the EU, or if you can get 150 millisecond ping to Germany. Come join the Discord, come sign up. And Dahi's still going to be in the Discord, so come down for Fae Fridays. And come get some games. People love answering Xrd pings in there. It's a great game to get back into. Or just get into for the first time, even.
I gotta say, Dahi's only role in the Discord, being the graduation role, is Aura.
And he's just a very astute and observant user of the Discord, actively perusing the channels for pings and such.
Very
is
Buddhist
informed.
of him. Alright, congrats to Dahi. I believe that makes his record in Rookie Roman Council 2-1. 3 total entries, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
Congrats to Dahi. Commiserations, Phil. I'm sure you'll graduate soon, though. Thank you to everybody who entered, thank you to everybody who watched, and thank you to my wonderful commentators. Is there anything you would like to promote today?
Yeah, so next week, Friday, different gear, but all guilty just the same. We're going to be hosting a team battle, so a bunch of players have been working hard to improve their striving action, and they're going to finally have the showdown next week, Friday at 7 p.m., so tune in for that. Zero Fundamentals at the end of the month, featuring Strive, Akatsuki Blitzkampf, and Vampire Savior, so a very interesting lineup. And other than that, I will be at Frosty Fausting, so it'll be interesting to see some of the NA side of RRC.
Hell yeah. Yeah, folks, come out to Frosty Faustings. End of January. Hotel rooms are probably a mess right now, so hopefully you folks registered during the break when it opened in October. But come out to Frosty Faustings, and if you're coming to Frosty Faustings, come say hi. We'll be at the Xrd stations for a lot of it. And yeah, apart from that, I don't know. Retromania in December, that's done by the Play Guilty Gear crew. That's going to be a lot of fun, sort of a pro wrestling Xrd themed event. A lot of heroes, villains, matchups, high excitement. And I guess apart from that, go to playguiltygear.com. They got all the live events. Also, actually, next Saturday, I will say, if you're in the Arizona area, come out to Arizona Afterburner. That is October 18th. I'm going to be there. Xrd is at 1 p.m. local time. And I'm doing a 2-hour drive to do it. So I don't know who's tuning in from Arizona, but if you're in the Arizona area, come watch Xrd. And come play Xrd, because it's a fun game. They got some other games too. They got Blaze Blue, probably. I gotta go look at the list. But yeah, I think that's all I got. Play Guilty Gear and hang out with friends. Be good to one another.
Next week, we will be having Burst of 5, our all-skill exhibition series. As usual, you can go and sign up for that right now in the Discord. It is not region locked or connection locked, so long as whoever you get matched with or request to get matched with is amicable to your connection. You can go and sign up for that right now in the Burst of 5 channel. If you go to Frosty, you can get in the Rookie Room Cancel group picture and do karaoke and watch me do karaoke and watch Dizzy do karaoke after I bully her into it.
What?
Picture, I'll be too busy playing Marvel.
Bye. Alright, that's gonna do it for today. Next week, Burst of 5. Week after, Rookie Room Cancel again. Schedule will be normal. Likely until Frosty, when I'll be taking a week off for that. But we'll see you next week. I'll send you over to Marine Mammal Rescues as usual. Bye, everyone.
Peace.
Bye.
Thank you.